I know it's been a minute, but I swear I've been busy. Whole ran across the country and all that business. Anyway, those are my birds. I'm sorry. Today we're going to be reviewing not a Yu-Gi-Oh fanfic, even though I still read those. It's been a hot minute. This one is by Donuts and Fries, and it is called Little Girls. And if you have a weak stomach, this is not for you. So we'll jump right in there with the summary, pros and cons, review, all that kind of stuff. Let's go. 3 girls went missing approximately 3 years ago, and their bodies are found in various places of the city with signs of torture and abuse of varying degrees in nature. No worries, our favorite Parisian superheroes are on the case. But Ladybug, aka Marinette, are just about the right age for this unsub. Criminal Minds reference. One night, Marinette de-transforms from her house a little bit farther away than she meant to. No worries. Her leather-clad Prince Charming swoops in and escorts her home safely. But that is not the end of it. After he deposits her onto her doorstep, she goes from butt-kicking superhero to kidnap victim real quick. The problem now being, she lost an earring, and Tiki's nowhere to be found with her. All in all, I did enjoy the story. I would probably read this story again. I am probably going to read this story again. But we're going to start with the cons. We're going to go with the pros. Con number 1. It was rushed in places. Just in places, not the whole story. Like, there were just certain parts where I kind of wanted to get more into detail. And that could just be being a picky reader. 100% that could be me. That could just be my opinion. That is just my opinion. It just kind of jumped around from like, this happened. And I felt like there could have been a little bit more, like you could have taken a little bit more time to fill in that gap of this happened, explanation, then this happened. Again, that could totally be me. The one thing I was really missing from the story is I did want to see some detective work from Cat Noir, or Chat Noir, however you want to say it. I feel like this one is actually subjective to me because maybe it just wasn't meant to be a detective-like story. I love shows like Criminal Minds and things like that, so I really enjoy the detective part. So if you just didn't mean it to be like that, I'm sorry, ignore this criticism. It's not criticism at all, because I love your story. But Detective Cat Noir. Just saying. Let's jump right on into the pros. It was a solid storyline. I did not feel like where it was rushed a little bit, I didn't feel like we skipped over integral parts. I didn't feel like I was missing something. I didn't feel like, wait a second, when did this happen? I didn't get any of those feelings, which is great because that means I was carried through. What I really liked that was done with this story is that we got a harsher version of Marinette, and she's usually a very optimistic person. I love that about it, I really do. But realistically, if you get kidnapped, you're not going to be all that optimistic, especially if it's been a hot minute. The progression of the story was clear, beginning, middle, end. It didn't jump, it didn't make me feel like I missed a big part, which a lot of times in fanfic, and I do this too, is we rely on the story that everybody knows to fill in those blanks, which, you know, it just saves time. We're not getting paid for this. Nobody gets paid for fan fiction, except for Anna Todd. She made a pretty good amount off of fan fiction. Never mind. Anyway, I understand that. It's kind of sometimes it's just to get the story done so that you're not sitting there 4 years later with an unfinished fanfic, which I may or may not be guilty of. My bad. Another thing that I think was done so right is that the characters are damaged after trauma. They don't just come back and they're like, all right, let's go, let's do this. They are damaged, they're hurt, they're affected. And that is another thing. That's probably what will kill a fanfic for me. If somebody is not affected by an obvious tragedy. These characters are going through a lot. They're gonna feel something, even if it's anger, even if it's frustration. They're gonna feel something. And when that emotion isn't shown, it really frustrates me. one of my favorite parts that was done here was we got 2 endings. Yes, I am that greedy. I want 2 endings. I want like the show, the canon ending, like what would have happened. Like I can see that happening with the show. And then I want the Criminal Minds ending. Like I said, I do love those shows. I thoroughly enjoyed the story. I would read it again. The rating on this was actually super hard. So kind of the way that I rate is 5 is like darn near perfect. And I'm not talking grammar, I'm not talking spelling. I don't focus on that when I read fanfic. I want to know the story. I want if it feels like something the characters would do, or the AU that you put them in, and it feels in character 100%. It's basically perfect if it got a 5 stars. Or the storyline was just amazing. 4 stars is I would read it again. There are some parts I didn't like 2. I give it usually like 3 chances. Like if it was rushed, if like 3+ times I felt like a scene was rushed, then that takes it off that 5-star mark for me. 3 stars is that's 2. 3 stars is if I enjoyed it, I liked it, I probably will not read it again. 2 stars is either, and I know I just said I don't focus on grammar or anything, but if every other word is misspelled and it's to the point where it's taking away from my focus on the story, and it's got to be bad if the grammar is taken away, because mine's terrible, my first draft, and I usually don't pick it up until the 2nd or 3rd time I read something because I'm focused on the story. 1 star, I will probably not give a review for a 1 star. So I have reviewed the story. I probably won't give a review for a 2 star either. I'll probably just like post a written review on my wattpad on that little section that I have. But 1 star, I didn't like it. I probably didn't finish it. Probably read a chapter in and decided it wasn't for me. I tried to give everything a chance, but that is how it goes. So with that being said, I would give this a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Just for those rushing parts, not for like the actual content of it. More could have been put in there to fill in those gaps and really get those details and really dig in. Again, fanfic, maybe you didn't mean to be like that. If so, disregard. We are now going to get into one of my favorite parts of this review process, and that is the excerpt, because I love teasing people. Pound it. We hit our fists together and smile. Gotta go, my lady. Chat left and I swung into an alley. I de-transformed and realized I was farther from my house than I thought. The Akuma moved us around a lot, so I was a little surprised. I sighed and started walking home. Princess? Someone put their hand on my shoulder and I flinched and grabbed their hand and pinned it to their back. It's just me. Sorry, Chat. I let go of his arm. You shouldn't be walking around at this hour. I'll take you home. He grabbed my hand and started walking me home. He loosened up a bit and started swinging our hands. We're here. I let go of his hand. He smiled. Let me take you up to your balcony. No, I'm fine. It's just a small stair climb. I smiled. Alright? Okay. Be safe, Princess. He smiled and jumped away. I saw the van again, but it was empty. I shook it off and smiled back and walked into the bakery. Hello, a voice whispered. I froze and felt something hit me on the back of the head. Hard. I fell to the ground as everything went black. That's all you get. Go check it out. Links as always will be in the description. This is the area is gonna be for the title. I will see you next time. I will be posting regular reviews this month. Quick side note. Shameless plug here. I am releasing my first book next month, the 22nd of September. It is currently available for pre-order. A lot of these are some of my fanfics. It is currently available for pre-order on Kindle Kobo. It's going to be on iBooks. Still waiting for that approval process. And it is currently available for pre-order on Kindle Kobo and Barnes & Noble. On Barnes & Noble, it is also available in paperback. I will be receiving my own paperbacks next week, and I will show them on my next review, which is either going to be a How to Train Your Dragon review, the movie, not the book, which is either going to be a How to Train Your Dragon review or a Hisagan or a Hunter x Hunter review. And the story that I'm gonna review is dark, and I'd 100% recommend it. So this is my book. I currently have it on Kindle. I will insert thing here, and I will probably insert my little book trailer as well at the end of this. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you next week. My sweater won't stay up. See you later.